I just leave. I go home. I go home to my life, and I take care of my cat and do all this.
She's gone, reportedly without warning. No public statement, no emotional farewell, no final appearance at the table view. Just silence and absence. According to circulating claims, Whoopi Goldberg has allegedly left the country shortly after an $800 million defamation lawsuit filed by conservative commentator Karoline Leavitt gained serious legal momentum. The situation has reportedly triggered behind-the-scenes tension across media circles, with ABC said to be under pressure, production teams reviewing materials, sponsors reconsidering positions, and PR departments scrambling to manage the fallout. Some insiders suggest she departed on an international flight just days after the court approved an expedited discovery phase in the case. While a few sources describe it as a planned break, others speculate it may be more abrupt than that. As speculation grows, questions are piling up. What prompted the timing, how the lawsuit escalated so quickly, and what really led to her sudden absence? Let's break down what's being reported and the confusion surrounding it.
You don't have anything to say. You blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Let's rewind. According to a circulating version of events online, what was expected to be a standard guest appearance on The View reportedly turned into a highly tense exchange. Karoline Leavitt, described in these accounts as a young and outspoken conservative commentator, appeared on the show where discussion quickly grew sharp. From the start, the atmosphere is portrayed as strained, with panelists challenging her viewpoints and questioning her experience and credibility. And this version of the story, Joy Behar is said to have made light of her age and qualifications, while Sunny Hostin reportedly raised concerns about privilege and merit in political spaces. Whoopi Goldberg is also depicted as weighing in with a pointed remark that, according to these claims, escalated the tension even further and drew strong reactions from viewers online. What stands out in these narratives is not just the exchange itself, but what followed. No immediate public back and forth from Leavitt, but instead a more restrained response and later legal attention being mentioned in connection with the incident. Whether framed as confrontation, misunderstanding, or media exaggeration, the story has clearly taken on a life of its own online, with different sides interpreting the same moment in very different ways.
Rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on...
The internet reportedly erupted almost instantly. Claims began circulating that Karoline Leavitt had filed an $800 million defamation lawsuit against The View, with headlines spreading rapidly across social media and short-form video platforms. Online commentators and creators dissected the situation in detail, while some legal analysts framed it as a major challenge to how mainstream media handles political guests. According to these viral narratives, the lawsuit named Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and ABC, alleging defamation, coordinated on-air humiliation, and politically motivated bias. The filing is described in these accounts as extensive, with supporters pointing to detailed breakdowns of the broadcast, timing of reactions, audience responses, and production elements, as part of the argument. Some versions of the story also reference alleged internal communications and production notes that are said to suggest how segments were structured. These claims portray the show's preparation process in a highly strategic and intentional light, though they remain part of the broader online discourse rather than confirmed evidence. The legal response, as described in these reports, emphasizes that the case is not about restricting opinions but about questioning how far televised commentary can go when it comes to portraying invited guests. Following the filing, speculation grew about internal reactions at ABC and how the network would respond publicly. As the story continues to circulate, it remains heavily debated online, with interpretations ranging from serious legal development to exaggerated media narrative depending on the source.
How ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple.
At first, Whoopi Goldberg reportedly dismissed the lawsuit publicly, treating it as just another wave of political controversy and media noise. On air, she brushed it off with humor and confidence, presenting it as something that would fade quickly. But according to behind-the-scenes claims circulating online, the tone reportedly shifted off-camera. Some anonymous production chatter described rising tension, late arrivals, stricter moods during rehearsals, and a generally more pressured atmosphere as the legal situation developed. None of this has been independently verified, but it has fueled online speculation as the case moved forward. Reports and viral posts claimed that court orders related to expedited proceedings increased pressure on ABC and its on-air talent. Online narratives suggested that discovery demands and legal filings expanded the scope of the case, pulling in internal communications and production-related material. Some of the most widely shared posts online allege that internal planning discussions and editorial coordination were being examined as part of the legal process. However, these claims remain part of internet discourse and have not been confirmed in any verified court record made public. As rumors spread, social media amplified every detail, real or alleged, turning the situation into a trending topic across platforms. Hashtags and clips circulated rapidly, often mixing commentary, speculation, and satire. Meanwhile, supporters of Karoline Leavitt in these online narratives framed her as methodical and composed during proceedings, emphasizing her legal approach and courtroom presence. Critics, however, cautioned that much of the story being shared online appeared to be dramatized or speculative rather than confirmed fact. Ultimately, what stands out most is not a single verified sequence of events, but the way the story has evolved online, blending courtroom reporting, commentary, and rumor into a fast-moving media narrative that continues to shift with each new post.
This is a party that says we believe in parents' rights. You're telling me that as a parent, I'm not smart enough to decide if my child and I need to have gender affirming. Our doctors are not involved. What is going on? So I can't decide what my kid reads. I can't decide for my child what my child says is going on. You're telling me your beliefs, and they keep saying it, and I keep saying, what Bible are you reading? Because God was really clear.
According to circulating reports and alleged internal leaks, tensions behind the scenes are said to be rising sharply. One memo, described by insiders but not publicly verified in full, reportedly warned that the show is facing serious pressure, including declining trust, viewership challenges, and reputational strain, with some language suggesting contingency planning may be underway. Online narratives claim frustration has grown among the panel. Joy Behar is often described in these reports as being particularly upset about the situation and questioning leadership decisions, while Sunny Hostin's professional background has become part of the broader online debate about how the situation unfolded. These characterizations, however, come primarily from commentary and speculation rather than confirmed statements from those involved. Meanwhile, social media discussions suggest uncertainty within production teams, with rumors of contingency planning and internal meetings being held more frequently than usual. Some posts also allege advertiser concern and shifting sponsorship decisions, though concrete details remain unclear and vary widely depending on the source. Amid all of this, supporters of Karoline Leavitt in these online discussions portray her as staying quiet and avoiding public commentary, framing her approach as deliberate restraint rather than public reaction. Critics, on the other hand, argue that the broader narrative being circulated is heavily dramatized and shaped by viral content rather than verified reporting. What is clear is that the story has taken on a life of its own online, blending speculation, commentary, and fragments of reported claims into a larger media controversy. As a result, the situation continues to evolve in public perception, even as confirmed facts remain limited.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job. Because women were not invited to that table.
Now it's your turn. How you think the story about Whoopi Goldberg fleeing is real? Or is it just internet rumor building on top of a larger controversy? Should ABC rethink how The View handles politically charged interviews, or is this just another cycle of backlash that will eventually fade? And what about Karoline Leavitt? Has this situation, as some online voices claim, shifted her into a more prominent legal and media spotlight than anyone expected? Drop your thoughts in the comments. People seem pretty divided on this already. And if you're following this story, stick around, because the conversation around it isn't slowing down anytime soon.